How's it going, Scrub Gamers? It's your boy Scrub Games coming at you with a juicy new piece of content for you to enjoy. But before we do get into the topic of the video, I just want to let you know how you can help support the channel, and that is by checking out Firestorm Games using my affiliate link in the description box below. Because Firestorm Games offer a whole host of products for almost every kind of hobby there is, be it Dragon Ball Super, Pokemon, One Piece, you name it, and they'll likely have it, and at some quality prices too. So just make sure to click the link below and check them out to see the whole host of products they offer while helping support the channel. And also, remember, there's another way to help out the channel, and that's by dropping a like, leaving a comment on the video, and best of all, hitting that subscribe button to keep up to date with my content when it drops. Because I'm still on the road to 1k subs and looking to hit that by the year's end. But now we've got all that sorted, let's dive into the topic of the video. Alright, Scrub Gamers, so as the video suggests, here is the deck profile for the Green Gogeta BR deck that I am, as you might have seen from one of my previous videos. I used it in one of my games for the Hermit style, like league style locals, so like play at your own time locals that they've done, which has been pretty fun. I only had one game so far because I got the bye, and then one of my opponents for the second round wasn't actually able to schedule the play, so just gave him a win. But I finally managed to get the game on, and when I thought I'll go with this because I've already used in my own Dragon Ball League the Jiren deck I've got some new stuff to actually play out, so that's gonna come at some point, and I've already used Vegito, so I was like, let's use the third deck I actually have built and actually can play fully, like properly. And it actually was a lot of fun. Like, I do really enjoy playing this game, and with the new Gogeta 6-drop promo that we got, it actually made the deck a lot better. But then the hit 2, losing the Vegeta to help cycle your Gogeta super combo, really, because like this deck didn't keep a huge hand size. It was like most of the things replace it, pluses a little bit, and gets value like longer to 6-drop in there, but still like getting a supercon recycle just to put a bit more pressure to be aggressive if you want to be, and or even defend and kind of keep your hand size going if you fill for your deck at the load was a shame, because due to it being so generic and not really locked, it then therefore got banned. Like, it would have made more sense to actually get a RA, but that's a different topic for another video. But since they hit, it's still a deck you can play. It's not the most competitive, definitely not the most competitive green deck, but it's still a competitive deck you can still play that is quite good, quite fun, as long as you get to work around it. Because I know I've seen people focus more on like evolving from the Z energy, but I'll get into how I play it as we go on. But first I'm going to go over the list, then go by the turn by turn play, because it's got like how I play it. It's got a specific way how you want to progress your turns 1 and 2, potentially 3. But then that'll help explain, just to go make sense of my list as well. So without further ado, let's get in the list and actually have a look through. So this is the leader, both sides. So it starts off quite weak on the front side, being a 5k, which is a shame. But then it is starting off as Veku, being the failed form of fusion, which is actually weaker than how they are like unfused, so it makes sense ways of 5k. But then when he does swing, he does gain some power, and then when he flips over, he does go into Gogeta, the fusion complete when they finally do the fusion. And then spoiler, there's the leaders when he goes into his like proper SS blue or Super Saiyan blue form to like finish, as you see if you've seen the Broly movie. But with these leads, so on the front side, it also does have an alternative awakening, which is the only time I really use the EX Evolve on any cards. So that's the only time I really use the EX Evolve, was just to get the leader to awaken. But with the lead on the front side, it's got on swing auto, like majority of ones do. But on the front side, it's more of a search. So it's auto when it attacks. Look at top 5 cards of your deck. Then you can add up to 1 Son Goku BR, Vegeta BR, or Gogeta BR card, as long as they're green with entry cost of 6 or less, from among those 5 cards to your hand, dish off your deck, and then your leader gains 5k power for the battle. So when it swings, even though it's 5k, it will go up to 10k for that battle. And then it's got it doesn't have an alternative awakening built into the awakening like some do, like if you do certain things. It's got an auto that allows you to awaken, which has the same kind of like reward as if you awaken, just at a higher life. Because with the awaken, it's when your life's at 4 or less, just when your life's at 4 or less, you untap 1, draw 1, flip over. And the auto kind of similar to that, but then it keeps you a higher life total, because the auto is if you have 2 or more energy, so turn 2 is where you can do this, so it's very easy to set up. when one of your Z Energy cards activates, EX Evolve, so essentially EX Evolving from your Z Energy with like a Goku or Vegeta. You then flip this card over to its back, so you flip it over, then you draw. Then if you do that, you draw one, switch on your energy active mode, and then take your life down so you have 6 life left. And if you've got 6 or more or less, you don't take any life. So it just helps you to awaken a higher life total, because thanks to this Gogeta super combo, you don't really need to worry about your life total, which is one benefit of over having a super combo that requires you to be at a certain life, like Paragus and stuff like that. Requiring you to be 4 life, this allows you to not worry about your life total, not really have a concern about that, meaning that you can take hits and be like, okay, I'll take it, I'll draw more, but also to keep yourself at higher life if you need to in certain matches. But essentially, the second auto is your awakening but allows you to awaken at a higher life when you do the EX Evolve, and it's the only time, like I said, that you really EX Evolve on the deck, or at least I do when playing this one. But then when you flip over, now you're a 15k Gogeta fusion complete with 2 autos, so you've got 2 ways to draw, which is what both autos do. The first one is when every time you EX Evolve, or you or you play a union, so either by union fusing or union pataring or EX Evolving, you get to draw more, so as the autos once per turn. When you play a green battle card with EX Evolve from your Z Energy, or a green Gogeta BR card with a union skill from your hand, you draw 1, so either by union fusion from your hand or playing for your Z Energy using EX Evolve, you get an extra draw turn. So that's what you want to kind of do to get that extra draw, because then the leader also has the on swing attack, which is auto. Draw 1 card and then this card gets 5k power for the battle, meaning that when it swings as a 20k attacker, which is pretty good, getting that extra power, force your opponent to either use a super combo to out combo it without losing anything, or lose multiple 5ks, at least 2 of them out combo, which is pretty handy. And if you didn't combo on top of it, then you're in the sweet spot 25k to actually force through super combo plus something else, or quite a few cards at hand, or make them take it. And yeah, so that's basically a leader. So pretty basic, like you will be trying to awakening as soon as possible as turn 2, and then also trying to get both the draws on the auto on the leader's front every turn as much as you can. So enough of the leader, let's go into the actual deck and go over some of the cards. So we'll start off with the Goku side of it. So with the you need enough Gokus and Vegetas to do the fusion, as well as also like doing the fusion every turn, and also to, as well as that, get yourself set up to turn 1. So the only way you EX Evolve with this deck is from the 4 on top of the 3 or 1, or the 3 on top of the 1. So we always play 4 copies of the 1 drop, because it's got a handy effect, which is when this card is played from your hand, look at 7 cards on top of your deck, add up to 1 green Goku, like Goku BR or Vegeta BR, that is green, and an energy cost of 6 or less from your hand to your hand and shuffle your deck. So look at top 7 is a big amount. Like normally you get, like, I remember it used to be early in the game like top 3, then it became top 5 is like the general you normally get, top 5 searching, but this one has top 7. A few of the cards here have top 7 as well, so that digs you a lot deeper into your deck to try and find a valid target. There could be times when you whiff, because sometimes you might see just like something you got some cards that search for Gogeta and some that look search for Goku and Vegeta, and sometimes you can see the from Goku or Vegeta search you can see just Gogetas, or you can see just Goku's Vegetas when you do a Gogeta search. So sometimes there is a chance to whiff. It should be a lot less likely, but there is chances because there's always a chance with searching. We play 4 copies of these, so we've got something turn 1 to set up, and then that way it ties in with the 4 copies of Vegeta as well, because we play 4 copies of Vegeta, because that way that's how you start your chains to get the evolve, and we want to make sure we're evolving this turn 2 as easy as possible. So turn 1 play this out, turn 2 evolve on top of them, so you can get your leader flips over as soon as possible. And the evolve targets, remember we want the same amount for each side, because when you do the union fusion, they got to be the same power, so we've got the same amount of these because they're both 5ks. We have ones they have 15k power as well, so you've got 3 of the 3 drop Goku, so SS Goku All Out Evolution, and 4 of the SSG Goku Crimson Impact. Like normally when I'm trying to awaken with my lead, I want to prioritize dropping Vegeta, because Vegeta's EX Evolve cards have a lot better skills in critical, well, we see it now actually, in critical for the 3 drop, and then a removal auto on the 4 drop. So it's a lot better just to bring down a critical 15 attacker that you can then swing with, put critical pressure on, because then sometimes one of the benefits of critical is sometimes against people, you'll find out when you play, is when you attack someone with critical, like more often than not, they'll see it as critical and not want to take the damage, so they combo out unnecessarily. So wasting more cards in hand and losing that one life because they're valued at one life over like having that one card in life over having like say two free extra cards in hand, and that's one like a nice little benefit of that. And then the SG Vegeta, when it's played for his auto, you choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it goes to 4 or less, and KO it, so you get a nice bit of removal on quite a wide level as well. Like 4 or less is pretty decent. And the good thing about all these EX Evolves is, as part of the cost to EX Evolve, because they're all limit 1 as well, is 1 green, and you draw 1 as well. So you play it on top of the valid targets, as I said, with the SS Son Goku, it evolves on top of a 2 or less, and the 4 drop evolves on top of a 3 or less. So that's not very useful. Like you're just going to evolve once one of these 3 or 4 drops on top of the 1 drop of the same character, just to get the 8 evolve. And I'm not really going over the effect of the 4 drop Goku because it's not relevant. Like you never want to trigger this. Like I always do prefer dropping the Vegeta, because with the 3 drop, his auto is as long as your leader is this leader. When it's played, you draw 1, discard 1, and sometimes you don't want to discard a card, or your cards you don't want to discard. Like he does draw your card and help you filter your deck more, but you don't always want to discard a card, even though you're drawing 1, because you might have like a really tight hand with all your pieces that you need, and you don't want to lose anything that you can get back. So I always prioritize getting out the Vegetas instead, because yeah, critical's a lot better than drawing 1, discarding 1, and losing a piece that could be crucial, especially in a fusion deck where you need the pieces in hand at the same power to fusion or removal as well in the 4 drop. But there we have the still have these same ones just there because they also use fusion, so we can use the 15 with the 15 and 5 with the 5s. And to help out with that, because sometimes you might get like games where I've just had a lot of Gokus and a lot of Vegetas, but struggling to find the other character. So we've also got 4 copies of the 6 drop duo. That's SSB Son Goku and SSB Vegeta Team Attack. The handy thing about this is because it's got a way to play this, which we'll go over in a sec, but it also counts as both characters. So if you're stuck with having one of these in hand, this counts as the other character to help make the fusions a little bit easier. But you don't always want to use these as a fusion, just in dire situations where you need to, because you've got no other choice. But usually you want to combo this, get in your Z&G so you can play it, because this is a 6 cost 15k with double strike. It does have an annoying little permanent where if this guy would be removed from your battle area, it's removed from the game instead. So it means you can't really combo off from the battle area after dropping it if it's like not useful to attack with and you just want to get combo power. You cannot use that, and if it's removed, you can't. It's just then gone from the game. Even though once it's really, because there was that even a bit busted. If you can swing, play this, drop out, pop, because when it comes down, it gets a bit stronger as well, and then combo it to get back in the scene. You just do that every turn, get extra draw. That seems to be a bit too busted for this deck, band I saw. But so yes, it gets removed from the game. But it's got a nice little auto, which is when this card is played, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with entry cost of 6 or less and KO it, and then this card gets 5k power for the turn. So a nice little removal, and plus making yourself then a 20k double striker. And it's got additionally, if you have at least one Son Goku BR card and one Vegeta BR card in your Z Energy, you draw 1. And this is why you want to try and prioritize getting one each Goku and Vegeta, because not only for the Whis counter, you get that floodgate to be able to play for free, but also this, you get some extra draw, so you thinning for your deck and replacing it. So you're technically plussing. You're not technically plussing. You kind of are, because you combo off this defensively, get the out combo attack, put into your Z Energy, then play it out, pop something, have a 20k double striker, and then draw cards. You replace that card you combo with defensively with a new card thanks to this. And it comes down for a 1 from your Z Energy because it's activate main, which is limit 1 for 1 green. If your leader is this leader, and you have 3 or more energy, you play this card from your hand or Z Energy. So this is why, even if you play it from your hand, you don't want to play it from your hand, you want to combo off defensively to then put it into your Z Energy, and just play it from your Z Energy a lot easier. Because then also, handy thing is this counts either Goku or Vegeta, so if you're struggling to get one of these into the Z Energy, you can get one of these instead, and that counts as one of the characters, so you're going to have to put the other character in. So that's one nice thing. I did used to have this up to 3, but up to the 4 because it's just handy in that aspect of covering the character you might be lacking when trying to do fusion or for your Z Energy. It's a very handy card, and that's all the Goku's Vegetas use. So to get our essentially to start off our game by getting us flipped over into our fusion complete, and then putting us a pressure and drawing. And then we have the Gogeta cards, but first we've got a card that searches them, and that is our promo in Bolmit such as Dragon Balls. So she's a cantrip, so she got effect if you play it, draw once. If you want to, you can have that as a turn 1 play if you don't see one of these ones to make use of your first energy, because you always want to use that first energy if you can. But the better effect is in the activate main, and that is limit 1, where if your leader is this leader, and you discard this card from your hand as the cost, so as long as you're playing this leader and you discard this card from your hand, you get to look at the top 7 cards from your deck, add up to 1 mono green Gogeta BR card among them to your hand and shuffle your deck. So once again, looking for the top 7, which is quite a deep dig to try and find your Gogetas, which can, if you're using the super combo, it kind of find your super combo, your 6-drop fusion piece, or even your big boss 8-drop. So some good targets. We play free because space is a little bit tight, because you need a lot of Goku Vegetas for fusions, you need the Gogeta pieces, so there's not much room for just generic green tech like there is for normal green decks. This is more like a heavy archetype deck. So to make space for some better choices, and because this isn't as crucial as most other cards, we've only got 3 instead of 4. You could up to 4 if you want to, it's up to you on ratios, but I like to have 3 to make space from other cards. But that is one of the such as like the 1-drop, but look, unlike the 1-drops here, they don't cost you an energy, you just have that, you can just use it from hand without it, but it is limit 1, so you can need it once per turn. And at the very least, it's a good green charge for energy as well, if you're ever stuck with what you want to charge. So that's it, and then we go on to the Gogeta pieces that she can search. First one being the best one that was made, and is really good, but then back I don't know if they did it intentionally because they just at the time hated green or just hated making any Gogeta deck busted. But we got the 6-drop Gogeta Birth of the Ultimate Warrior. That's a 4 of because it's just so good. It's a great way to keep up the draw power, and actually something that should have been with this deck on the release. And that's because it's just a cheap evolve to just keep Union Fusion to trigger the leader every turn, and a good way to make add to your already pretty strong boss monster. So he's essentially Union Fusion for 1 green if you have 2 or more energy and you draw 1 card. So all of both the 6-drops, they draw a card from the Union Fusion. They don't draw 2, they draw 1, because then the leader also draws a card from it. So that's how you get your 2 materials you use back, by draw from the leader and draw from the 6-drops. So that's why you want a Union Fusion, because then that way you're making use of the leader, but it's not a plus, it's just replacing. So you're still negative 1 on hand by playing this out, but then you're still filtering for 2 extra cards, filtering the Goku Vegeta for 2 new cards. And you could only use a green Gogeta BR card and a green Vegeta BR card for this. So you need one of each. Remember, they got to be the same power for Union Fusion. But and the reason why this is so good and why it's so needed is because it's auto, which is limit 1 if it's your turn. That's the only time you can use it. When you combo, you draw a card, and this card can't be KO'd until the end of your opponent's turn. Now this could be really, really good, but not against all colors. Like against black, there's a lot of ways you can get rid of it because they normally just warp, so getting rid of it that way. Red's got a way to just minus down to 0 and get rid of it that way. Blue can just bottom deck it and stuff, but then blue isn't seen that much at the moment. It's not too much of an issue, because your green you can just try and whittle the hand away by putting pressure on. And then the colors that it's better against are green and yellow, because when it's with that effect to make it so it can't be KO'd until the end of your opponent's turn, even if they negate the skills on it, it's still pending lingering. It's a lingering auto. It's not like an effect that it can be removed from the card. It's a lingering one that's just can't really be interacted with. So against yellow and green, this is pretty good, but against the other colors, it's a little bit easier to be removed. But still, that's one way how you're getting cards. So you're still using your comboing. So even though you're not really, even though it seems like you're not really plussing, because all you're doing is combo card from hand and replacing card in hand, so you're not plussing any fact. Given that the deck plays a lot of stuff by Z energy, you want to be comboing to put pressure on and put it into your Z energy, so you can use it from your Z energy, like the 6-drop here and even the 8-drop that we'll go over in a bit. So you are technically plussing in a way with that. And it also has a nice little skill to allow you to potentially in a turn drop 2 of the 8-drops, because the 8-drops, they're limit 1 in how you use its own effect to get it out, and this is another way to get it out from your Z energy. So you can drop 2 a turn and put a lot of pressure on as well, because his activate main is limit 1, so just like it's all limit 1 as well, limited to using it once a turn. You got A card requires 1 green, and if you have 4 more energy, and you add this card to your Z energy as the cost. So it's a turn 4 play to use this. So if you're going first, you get the turn 4, while your opponent's on turn 3, which is pretty good. But if you go in second, you have to wait, until your turn 4 after they've had their turn 4. But it's still a really good play. And it's play up to 1 Green Gogeta BR card with energy cost of 8 from your Z energy, and that card gains dual attack until the end of the turn. So you essentially give dual attack, you play out an 8 drop from your Z energy and give it dual attack for the turn so you can swing twice. And it is a big card, as we'll see in a little bit. So, and yeah, this is a way to bring out a second 8 drop, and the best way to bring out 8 drop because it gets that dual attack and just makes it a little more of a harder to deal with boss monster. We also play 3 copies of the ever 6 drop when it came in the set, the more expensive one being SS Gogeta facing Ultimate. Now this is the only one we got before, making the chain like chain of dropping this, and to get the 8 drop a little bit harder because this is quite a more costly card, because at the time when this was made, green was still not great, and Banner was still over costing most cards. Like, it is still ridiculous how the 8s evolve on these. Gogetas and Vegetas still cost 1 green when they should have been for free to give a bit more of a leeway to green, but that is only recently Bandai's actually started making green a lot stronger and a lot better of a colour with just generic stuff and better, less gimmicky and less over costing decks. But yeah, this one's still a good one because you can still drop it, and it's got a permanent that really the promo should have. It is mad that this promo doesn't have the same permanent as this one, because given that you're charging stuff to Z energy, you use it for Z energy, this one's got a really nice permanent because it's a 6 cost 25k with deflect and dual attacks. It's got a protection in deflect, and it's a dual attacker, which at 25k is pretty good. Its Union Fusion is exactly the same as the Gogeta, just it costs 1 more green. So, actually, it's a little bit different. It costs 1 more green, so it costs 2 green, and your opponent needs to be at 2 energy, not you at 2 energy. So it's that slight difference, but the rest is the same. You draw 1 as well from it, and you gotta use a Green Vegeta BR and Green Gogeta BR for the Union Fusion. And a permanent that this promo should have, that it has, is you can choose battle cards in your Z energy when choosing cards to use with this card's Union skill from your hand. If you do, place the chosen cards in the drop area. So that's something that really the 6 drop should have. It would have made this a lot stronger with this, because then you can if this promo had the same permanent, then you'd be comboing a lot more of your Vegetas and Gogetas. Vegetas and Goku should be able to combo a lot more, combo more swings, combo off even defensively, just worrying about comboing one just to out combo little 15k attacks and small attacks, just to get them into Z energy so you can actually use them for Z energy for these things, kind of plus more in hand. But I didn't put it on there, so that way you've only got this one to use, but then you don't really use this, you don't drop this often unless you can replace the Goku and Vegeta from your Z energy back easily enough, because you want it there for your Whis to have that great little floodgate. And one other thing this card has is an auto, which is limit 1. And this is when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So not through barrier, but then it's still good, just a bit of removal. And then this card can't be KO'd until the end of your opponent's next turn. And the great thing about both these cards having that auto, which is lingering, which is not attached to it but lingering around it, to stop it from being KO'd, means it can't be KO'd by effects or be KO'd by battle. So it means if your opponent wants to swing into them, they can swing into them. It's not going to do anything because they can't be KO'd. And it can't be KO'd by effects, but as I said, there's other ways to get around it, like warping, bouncing it, minusing the 0. Those are other ways to get around them because they don't have barrier or anything to protect them. And we only play 3 copies of this because sometimes you want to see one and it gives more targets for Bulma, and it could be you want to try and Union Fusion every turn to get that benefit from your leader, drawing an extra card for that. And this one could potentially plus you 2 in hand because you'll be using the cards from Z energy as well. So more targets, and you can, even if you see one early, you can still charge it because you don't have to worry about too much about dropping this one. It's more this one and the other one that you want to keep the Gogeta for. So then we come to the big boss monster we play 4 copies of, and that is SSB Gogeta Limix Broken. Now, before we had this promo, this Birth of the Ultimate Warrior, this was harder to drop because you had to pay 2 to drop this down, then 1 for this, and your opponent needs to be at least 3 energy to drop this by own effect, which also didn't have dual attack. So it was a lot weaker, but this promo's made this deck a lot stronger, which is really nice. And this is a nice one because it's a 35k double strike with deflect as well, so 8 drop. So 8 drop deflect out the way of the free counter players who used to fear back in the Union Warrior series, but is not relevant nowadays. But deflect still make it so counter players can't really touch this. And double strike on a 35k body is quite big. It's also got a permanent where this card can't be KO'd, so just general can't be KO'd, can't be run over, or anything like that. Going to have the skills to get off it, but then still it means your opponent can't just run into it and get rid of it. They have to use effects to get rid of it instead. And it's got 2 skills. Being the first one is Auto's Limit 1, so this only, even though you can drop 2 a turn thanks to this 6 drop and its own effect, you can only trigger this once a turn. Well, yeah, once a turn. And that is when this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards in your own barrier and kill it. So you've got some barrier removal there and your big boss. And your opponent discards 1 card from hand. So just 1 discard, but that's not too bad. Because if they are siding into Bora, they're then tapping this off energy, which can be used for like a floodgate or something like that, just to ditch that and draw 2. And if they're in green or yellow, they're just basically just ditching 1 to draw 1 back, get 5k on board, which isn't too bad. Like the discard one's not that relevant; it's more the barrier removal built into it. And the way you can play it out by itself is from Z energy using the activate main, which is limit 1 for 1 green. If your opponent has 3 or more energy and you add one of your Gogeta BR Z battle cards to your energy, with an energy cost of 6 to your Z energy, you get a player's card from your Z energy. So there was a bit of a ruling that went wrong in an event where people are allowed to use this from any area. I think it was, yeah, from any area. So you could, use it from drop or something like that. But then that was corrected where no, you need to have it on board. It's just for one event where they mishapped it. So it was pretty busted tech for one event where it was ruled wrong. But then it's been corrected since. But this is really nice, and this is why you can get out twice, because you can use the 6 drop promo to get it out from the Z energy using its only activate main, which is once you're at 4 or less at 4 or more energy, and you can use an effect once your opponent gets to 3 or more energy to play out by itself, so you can just technically drop 2 in a turn. And this makes it so if you are going second, you can drop this a lot earlier, because your opponent will be at 3 or more energy quicker, so you can drop this on your turn 3, whereas if you're going first, you have to wait until turn 4 really to drop this, once your opponent's got a third energy down. And we play 4 copies of this because you want to search it, you want to put it in there, so you want to drop this as many times as possible off the 6 drop and off its own effect, where you got a second of this promo or this other 6 drop down, to just get some big swings with it, especially when you got a dual attack, getting 2 out, one with dual attack, getting 3 35k double strike swings that you can put combo power behind it on is pretty scary as well. So that is it for those, like the archetype focus stuff. The near cards we've got for it are the 4 super combo Gogetas, once again another one that can switch off Bulma, and this is just a nice super combo. It just needs your opponent, it just needs you to be green with either a Z leader, 2 Z energy, or a Z battle card in play to then just use it, and it's just a simple 1 combo draw 1. So you can get, there's some Z battle cards you can get in play to make it so it's always guaranteed, but normally you're going to try and get a Goku and a Vegeta in your Z energy to make it so you've got that Whis counter live at any point, and that's going to count your 2 Z energy, so very easy to get ready. And just having it searchable and not worrying about what your life total is a big benefit. It's less beneficial considering the Vegeta, but if you don't like running this and prefer to be Paragus, there's no reason not to switch them. I just prefer this at the moment because I don't have Paragus, and also because I like the fact that searchability with Bulma for this to make that consistency a bit better, because you can filter through your deck like crazy in this. And then that comes to the non-green battle cards, being our Overwhelm. I've gone for 2 of them, just because I feel like you can fill out your drop quite easy, where you Unifusion, filling out your drop quite well. I've gone for 2 Overwhelms, being 2 of the SS4 Vegeta Fang Greeting. I've gone for this because I don't feel you need to worry too much about removal in like the Secret Identity Mass Saiyan and the SS4 Vegeta Heated Fighting Spirit, because you've got removal in this. Like if it's not got Barra, you've got removal through the Gogeta and the 6 drop Goku Vegeta duel. And if they got Barrier, you've got the 8 drop you're going to be dropping down to get rid of whatever's got Barrier. So I find that dropping this as a free 30k swing, which is still a big swing for free as well, and making your opponent warp a card from hand, which then gets around any potential green anti-hand control stuff by warping instead of discarding, is quite good. Just being a free big body you can drop quite easily because you can Unifusion quite a bit. And I'm going to try it with 2. I only had 1 when I played the game. That's put out the last few weeks, beginning of this week. But I've upped it up to 2 because I feel like you could drop more than more than 1 a game. So I'm going to try that out. And then the secret rare, as you probably saw from the games, was Pan Time Patrol Maiden. I was running Cellmax before, but I feel that's I like the benefit of this one potentially just become down. I always like Pan being a potential free 40k swing to finish off. If you get your opponent down to 1, you're just putting a lot of pressure on getting down to 1. You got this as a free 40k swing, which if they don't have a negate they can use for it, it's going through and they have to try and out combo a 40k swing, which after you've been swinging multiple times to whittle the resources down, force them to use more combo they want to, it can catch them off as well. And it's a fantastic floodgate as well, because it's all in the counter attack, so unless it's countered, it's not going to be stopped from going off to save your turn. And you can normally get quite a few battle cards out, especially when you've got Gogeta and stuff that can't be KO'd, or your opponent trying to attack you with a load of battle cards. You can get this down to quite save yourself a lot easier than Cellmax. Like Cellmax is a good pressure one to go for a quad strike, but given that you can put a lot of things down, keep going a lot of pressure with the Goku duos, the 6-drop, the 8-drop and stuff, but a lot of pressure even with the lead. It's not too much of a reliance on Cellmax trying to finish off, get your opponents 4, and you've got no really reliable way to pop Cellmax to make it so you hit your opponent down to 1 and use this effect to burn them, pop their last life. So I feel like Pan is a very good one. It's not the same color, so it can you can flood your deck with too many non-green cards that worry about charging. But I feel this is the best secret rare to do it. And even then, it's got a nice active main to take one of your opponent's battle cards as well. So if they've got something on board that doesn't have barrier, that is just sitting there ready to hurt you next turn, or they've got that you don't want them to have, you can take that after dropping this, swinging it with it, and it just feels like one of the best super combos, one of the best secret rares to have generically for any deck or color that doesn't really have a good secret rare to match his style. Like most colors now have like a few secret rares now you can opt for, like different secret rares you can choose. But sometimes in a color, there's a deck that doesn't have one in its color that kind of fits what it tries to do, like its theme, how it wants to perform. So Pan is probably the best black, generic black one you can use for any color. So that's what I've picked up because I also use it for Jiren and stuff too. And that brings us to our extra cards. So of course we got our Whis' Capriciousness. Now this is the one I keep saying about. This is why you set up a Goku and Vegeta use energy, because along with helping out Goku, getting the draw from the duo when you prop him out, it also helps with this as well, because this one's a counter attack, limit 1. If your leader is a green Veka BR, or basically if your leader is this leader, as the cost, you negate the attack, and additionally you may discard 1 green card from your hand, and if you do, your opponent can only attack 2 more times per turn. So putting a floodgate on your opponent, it's almost like Dormant, but it actually negates the first attack, but then gives your opponent 2 more attacks after, instead of just 1 like Dormant does, but at least negates the first attack. So you can negate a problem swing, then put the floodgate on. And you can play this for free as well, because it's permanent, where if your leader is a green Gogeta, or if your leader is basically this leader, and 1 Gogeta when you got at least 1 Gogeta Goku BR and 1 Vegeta BR in your Z energy, you can activate the counter skill from your hand without hitting its energy cost. So it means you can just use this for free as a free negate and floodgate, as long as you get those 2 up. And that's why it's so important to get those 2 set up, so you can potentially play this for free. And we only play 3 copies because it's limit 1. If you get loads clogged in hand, you can't use them, they're dead, but you can still discard another one off it. But we don't want to be clogged too many, so that's gone with 3. Then we've got 2 Uneasing Awakened Rage, because it's just such a really good floodgate as well. Normally used for the Gohan, so it's at least this one is still still a hard negate. Do need to go at 4 less energy life to then get the floodgate on, which then is discarding a card from your hand. And this is what you're usually going to be using to floodgate against decks that have a weak hand size. Decks that don't have a weak hand size draw a lot. You can use this stuff. You're going to normally put a lot of pressure on with loads of swings, but you can also use this as a way to floodgate them. And it also, once again, it's another one that can be played for free. Just doesn't replace. It's not as cheap as the Gogeta, where if you want to play it for free, you discard a card to use it, and then another card to trigger the floodgate, which means you're using 3 cards in your hand, including itself, just the floodgate. So normally you just want to be paying at 1 energy and discarding a card to use the floodgate for this one. But also, it's never hard negate. That can be played for free as well. And then there's the last one being Homicide Clones, another negate you can play for free by taking a life instead. And this one works really nice in that it's not as great nowadays, given that you can remove tokens a lot easier. And but it's just still a negate. If you go down to 5 or less, like you can awaken at 6 with your awakening, which isn't great because you want 5 life so you can use this for free. But still, if you go down less than that, this is nice to negate an attack, especially when you use with weakest compressiousness. You give him 2 more attacks. If you negate 1 and then have to block it to defend another one, that's it. Your opponent's turn is done. They can't their attack's over, or at least let one through and then negate the second one, the last attack they've got, and then just call it a turn for there and go on to back to your turn. We only play 2 because we won't be clogged with these in hand, but we still want to see them. So we've got 2 of the homicide clubs, 2 of the these in awaken range, because if you see them early, you can always charge them in favour for these. But later on, you do want to at least see 1, and that's handy. That's a handy ratio for later on. And then 3 of the weakest compressionistas. We don't want to be flogged them, but it's like a very strong floodgate in this one. So that's the deck. All like it's kept down at 50 because we want to keep consistency. So that's what we've gone for. Now let's go have a look at the Z deck. So Z deck for the deck, we got 7 individual cards. So you got the Z leader, which I always forget that this has in it. I never really drop it, but it's just there as an option if you need be, because it requires 2 Z energy and 1 green to awaken when you're left 4 less life. So it still requires an energy to do it, which is not great. And it's only a 15k Z leader, which isn't great defensively as well. It's better to have 20k leaders, but not every deck gets a 20k Z lead. And it's got a permanent that kind of gives it a bit boost where during your turn it gets 5k combo power, so it's 20k offensively but not defensively, which is not really helpful with this deck. Really, like, puts more pressure on your swing, but then you'd have to get the full benefit that you have to swing with lead, get the draw on 5k for the battle, and then it EX evolves, so then you go up to 25k on the swing without any combo power. But it basically revitalizes when you go into this your auto, because now the auto changes from once per turn. When you play a green battle card with EX Evolve from your Z energy, or a green Gogeta BR card with Union skill from your hand, you get to choose 1 or 2 options. So you no longer just draw, you get 1 or 2 options, which is either your opponent discards 1 card from hand, so give your opponent the option to discard, but they choose discard, or you draw 2 cards and then you discard 1 card. So you draw 2 cards and discard a card, filter for your hand, just filter for a little bit more. So still plussing, but it's not as great. You'd rather keep on your ZD because it doesn't give a good benefit. But then it's the second auto, which is when your opponent uses a card in combo. You may place up to 1 card with 5k combo power or less from your opponent's combo area till its owner's drop, and if you do, negate the skill for the turn. So you got ways of kind of like the permanent with the Bardock Unison. It's got a nice little permanent to hinder your opponent's combo, and offensively, when it's your turn and you're being aggressive, it can hit those super combos from set 11 that have 0 cost combo power and 0 combo cost. But that then gain 10k after you use the effect, because before the auto triggers, you're the turn player, so you get priority on your auto, so you can then choose it and get rid of it before it then gets 10k and is unable to be chosen. But defensively, you gain that auto to gain 10k before you can use this to choose it. So with this, offensively, you can get that benefit. But yeah, it's only really amazing when it's more useful when you're attacking during your turn than defensively. But it's still a nice little auto to have on your lead to just disrupt the combo. If you decide to put in your side deck, inside in Bardock, you then got 2 cards really then to just go, let's knock off some of your combo power to just perform a little bit of annoyance for your opponent. Then we got 1 copy of Bulma Humble Wish. Now we only got 1 copy of this because it's not amazing, but it's a nice turn. Like if you get off the curve and get the 1-drop turn 1, and then go ahead and evolve and get EX evolve for your energy and get your awakening off in your second turn. This is a great way to turn 2 to establish that Goku and Vegeta use energy very easily with very few cards used from hand. Because this auto is when this if your leader is this leader as the cost, when you attack with a Son Goku BR or Vegeta BR card, both with an EX Evolve, you may choose 1 card from underneath it and use it in a combo, and if you do, negate the skills for the turn. And with its skills negate for the turn if you do negate this skill for the turn, because it's not once per turn, so it negates the skill after using it. So this just allows you, using this first auto allows you to, when you've played out like a Goku Vegeta, went up to 1 and EX evolved, flipped over, you can then get this out from your Z energy if you've got enough, if you've Z charged enough, and then when you attack with that one you evolve with to flip your lead, awaken your leader at higher life. This is then triggered to combo with that one drop from underneath it. Then you Z-charge it to your Z energy, and then you've got the Ever effect to get then the second piece out to then attack with an Ever card to then get that in your Z energy, so you got them both set up. Because the Ever one is activate main limit 1. If your leader is this leader, and you place one card from your hand at the bottom of your deck as the cost, you play up to one Goku BR or Vegeta BR, both green with energy cost of 1, from your deck with skills negated for the game, and then you remove this card from the game. So essentially you bottom deck a card, remove this from the game to play out a 1-drop Goku Vegeta, so the Ever one of the one you've already combo with that you got in your Z energy. So then on Never Swing you can swing, combo that off, and then you've got Goku Vegeta in your Z energy, ready for your 6-drop duo, and for your Whis' Capriciousness. Just one handy thing about it, and that's the only benefit of this. On doing it turn 2 outside, it's not going to be great later on in the game. Then we've got some things to help awaken, get yourself, so once you've awakened at higher life, at 6th life, you can start taking your life to help, well, you can start taking your life to get you another 5s for your homicidal clones, will gain you more advantage and use some of that Z energy. You've got some cards in your Z energy are useful, some are just there because they're useful for some of your Z deck. So we got Jiro, and we got SS Vegeta, Surmount the Impossible. Both of these are useful ways to help take your life if you need be, to get yourself down to 6 to 5 for your token in game. And they both got usefulnesses. So Jiro is a little bit weaker in 4K, but they both have the same cost and Z cost. Jiro is a little bit weaker in 4K, whereas Vegeta's 5K, but then the difference is that Jiro has barrier and deflect, so it can't be stopped from coming out, and it's got a protection as a green Z battle card on play for your super combos if you don't have your Z energy set up. So that's useful, whereas the Vegeta doesn't have that, so it can be stopped from coming out, so you can potentially have a counter play for it to stop it. But then Vegeta's a bit better in its auto than Jiro. Because when you play Jiro, you have to add a card from your hand, from your life to your hand, and place one card from your hand. Well, place one green card from your hand at the bottom of your deck as the cost. So if you don't perform that, you don't get it. So you have to take a life. It's not like Vegeta where you can place one card from your hand at the bottom of your deck if you want to as the cost for it, and then when you play it, take up to one card from your life to your hand and draw a card. So Vegeta is, you got a bottom deck 1 from your hand, but then you can take a life if you don't want. You can take a life if you want. You don't have to if you don't want to, and then draw a card. Whereas Jiro, you have to take a life and bottom deck a green card, and it's got to be a green card, so you got to reveal that it is a green card that you're bottom decking for the cost, and then you get the draw card and play. So they both do the same thing, just different ways. Well, Jiro is more you have to take a life, but has protection, and then barrier for you to have a Z battle card in play for your super combo. Whereas Vegeta doesn't have protection, but it's a better flexibility in the auto. So that's why we use one of each. The Ever activate main on Jiro is pointless. You never use it. Same with the Z stack. You don't really care. It's just there for taking life and setting certain things up. Then we come to some of the actual cards that you can use that have been more costly, come down to certain situations. So we got SS3 Brody Tyrant. This is a really good Z battle card, and a very good one for green, because green was lacking in its Z deck, but now it is getting more and more options actually quite decent. And SS3 Brody is great because it's got a permanent. Right, so it's normally a 20k base with 2 Z energy and 2 Z energy. So 2 energy and 2 Z energy, which is quite costly. But it's got permanent, allows you to bypass it and come out a little cheaper. And that is when this card would be played from your Z deck, instead of paying its actual energy cost as the energy cost, you can place one of your non-unique green cards from your battle area in your drop, and then pay 1 green and 1 Z energy instead, which is really handy. So you sack off something that's not unique and green, which is mostly your deck. Most of the green cards in your deck you can have on board, and then you play it out for 1 and 1, which is really handy, so you can get out a bit cheaper. It's really good with the cooler promo. It makes that a little bit better with this card, because you can get out cheaper rather than pay 4 energy to get out a Caller and Z 2-cost Z battle card to get the full use out of Caller. You can get out for 3 energy, which is a lot better. It doesn't seem great, but it's still a lot better. And it's got an auto which once per turn, if you have 4 more energy, when a battle card is placed in its drop, this card gets 5k power and double strike for the turn, so you can have it as 25k double strike with a finisher, and it's very easy to get that battle card in place, either killing one of your opponent's battle cards or killing your own. And how you kill one your own is with the activate main, Once per turn, if you have 4 or more energy, and you place one of your non-unique card from your battle area in your drop, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards to KO it. So get rid of a blocker, pop something on their board, and then trigger that also to make it a 25k double striker to finish off, which is very good for 1 energy. Just really good to see battle card. Didn't have it for my match, but got one on the way, so I put that in. And then we got one journey removable, which is a 2 cost 2 Z energy, 2 energy, 15k. With the flex, got a bit of protection. Protection on itself in auto, where you're allowed to choose something 5 or less. Make it so it can't be removed from your battle area until the end of the opponent's next turn. So nice bit of protection of it, and then activate main to help deal with unisons, and also make it potentially a 25k double striker as a finisher, which is useful. This is just mainly here to help deal with unisons, because we don't side. Well, you can side the Green Gogeta, Green Gohan rare, but I feel that's not as useful given that unisons aren't relevant, and this is more just one in the Z deck, which is there at any point you need it. So it's more of a benefit to just removal, unison removal, and can be used more in just actual a finisher than having a card that takes up a slot in your main deck or Z deck as well. Then the last card is one of the new Z extras from the anniversary box. So I was running the Broly one because this wasn't out yet, and it's just another way to make use of it, make use of some Z energy and some energy, and also get something that could be either player's turn a free 10k or even a benefit of get a bit of discard as well. And this is really nice in that it's got 2 skills, 2 activate battles, and the first one is you can sack off it's only a 1 cost and 1 Z energy, which is really cheap, which is a nice thing about it. And it just stays there ready for you to use it. And they're both activate battles. First one is just sacking off a Z energy to then give one of your cards 10k power and pop one of your opponent's free cost or less. Very handy that. Just the 10k power is the main bit of it, but then the free cost or less could be a little bit more of a benefit. Where if opponents going on in normally you would like a Z battle card to finish off, use this to pop it if it doesn't have barrier. And the other one's really nice in that it does cost 1 green the second one, but then you have to sack off free Z energy, which is not an issue with this deck. You can easily just get free Z energy in your Z energy just to have the sack off this, and then you get a 15k boost to a card. You draw a card as well, and you get to discard a card from your opponent's hand, and that's at your choice at random, similar to the what's it called? What is it called? The Cells Earth Destroying Kamehameha. And as well as that, the last little bit is that you get to pop something 5 or less as well, so it stops your opponent from going in with something 5 or less that can be KO'd, and has all those little benefits as well as a finisher. So there's one to get on board, have ready to use, which is a free 10k, or potentially have a big finish with like your 8 drop after giving it dual attack. So that's the Z deck, and I do have a side deck as well. So if you're interested in taking this to it, it can vary, but we do have the side deck available for this as well, so let's have a look at that. So this is the side deck. Just going to reveal all of them to see what we've got. Now, it can vary, and this is what I had originally, but I'm going to switch out some cards. So we have we got the S's for Vegeta, the one that helps like anti-hand control for against other green decks. Like if you go in any other ones that you got a bit of discard, you got this as a way to mitigate that in plus. And it helps against if you're against Android 21 when they got their floodgate that make you have to discard a card from hand and Z energy. You can use this as a way to sack out Z energy, discard the rest from your hand, play this, then draw a card, then combo off to get back in your Z energy to do that if you've got multiple of them to kind of get through the floodgate, make it like irrelevant. You got the Yamcha to help deal with Android 21s because once again you're a green deck, so you can make better use of you than say black, red, or yellow can. Quartz card deal with floodgates, and then overall options, if you want to change up your overall and feel like the SS for Vegeta is not going to be as useful, you want these two instead, you got these options, or like 1 for 1 or both out for these two. I like the normally side overall options to help with certain matchups and certain kind of strategies. And with these ones, you can kind of change them. You got Focus Breakthrough to help deal with floodgates, stop them from coming down, like the Mecha Frieza. You got Cell as a way to give it like a bit of random hand control that kind of adds to that if you want to, and then Big or More to help deal with decks that drop out big things early to 5 or more cards, so you can just stop them from use it 2 energy, which is still quite costly to stop them being able to attack, but then still be able to perform your attacks. It's depending on the format. but I feel like useful. One thing I would do is, I did forget to do before doing the deck profile, is drop out the South Kamehameha for Hunt of the Demon God, just to help deal with 1 cost extra card floodgates and 3 negates that people have, because you decide that in help stop some of the good floodgates people use nowadays, like even using the mirror as well to stop preciousness. So that is the deck. I'm going to turn progression, so we'll go over that now. Mainly what you want to do is turn 1, you want to mulligan to make sure you've got at least a 1-drop in your hand. That's the main thing, you just want a 1-drop because you can find the other piece that you might need. So the priority is getting one of these 1-drops in hand. So what you want to do is turn 1, charge green, play out your 1-drop, and then try and see if you can find one of the ones that evolve onto it, one of these EX evolves here. So that way you can defensively, when your opponent attacks in their turn, combo off to get your synergy, or when you swing in your turn, swing with your lead to then combo off. And then turn 2, you charge your second energy. And if you were successful to get a 1-drop down, turn 1, and then your opponent was able to attack you, and you were able to get a card in your synergy, even if it wasn't a card that could evolve on top of it, or if it was, when after you charge your second card, you can attack with your lead to look at the top 5 to find a piece you could use. And if you haven't already got a fusion, like EX evolve target for your 1-drop on board, grab that and then combo that off to get in there. And if you had one before already, grab something that's useful and then try and get in a second Z energy card and Z energy you don't really care about in there, so you can get the second Z energy down. Because then after that goes through, that's 15k swing, and then you pay the 1 to evolve on top the 1-drop, which then gets you a draw and triggers your leader to then you draw one from the EX evolve, and then you then take your life down to 6 and draw a card and untap your energy to flip over to your leader side. And now you've got 2 energy open. So the first one you have, so one of them is to use for Bulma in the Z battle card, so send paying 1 energy, sending 1 Z energy off to get the Bulma out, and then using the other one to drop the 6-drop promo one here, ditching a Goku and Vegeta of the same power for your hand, play it out, which then will trigger a draw from its Union Fusion skill, and a draw from your leader. And then, now with those 3 on board, the EX evolve card, the Gogeta, and the Bulma on board, you now swing with your evolve card, which then trigger the Bulma's auto, the combo that allow you to combo with the card from underneath it to push through more damage or more power on the swing, and also get that card in Z energy. And then what you do then is use the Bulma's skill activate main to bottom deck any card from your hand to then play out the other 1-drop from your that you don't have as the energies if you swung and combo the Goku, get Vegeta and vice versa. So then you can swing with your 6-drop promo, which when you comboed from underneath the evolve card, triggered its auto to make sure it can't be KO'd until the end of your opponent's next turn, and drew your card. And now you can swing with that Gogeta, combo off this 1-drop you just played out from your Bulma, and then you have both a Goku and a Vegeta in your Z energy. You have the 6-drop which can't be run over by effects, so you can swing with it and not worry about that. You got the EX evolve card, which if they run into that, you don't care. And then your leader as well is now awakened, and you should have a good enough sized hand to then now start comboing off. So when your opponent swings, comboing off one of these 6-drops, getting your Z energy to play out next turn, or even just some of these 8-drops in your hand to get your Z energy ready to use. So then on your turn 3, you could potentially either drop this 6-drop down to use the Goku and Vegeta you have in there to bring this out, trigger your leader's effect to draw itself to draw, plus you 2 more in hand. And if you go in second, be able to get this 8-drop that you potentially comboed off, or swing the combo one off to play it out, or get this 6-drop out if you've got your Z energy to play out from your Z energy after swinging and comboing with it. And the longer this 6-drop stays, the more you draw off that, but just combo things in your Z energy that you want there for fusion things or playing things. Just to for your deck, and use your floodgates to finish off. And then we turn 4 is when hopefully you've got 2 6-drops down, either 1 each of these or 2 of this fusion one, the promo one. So then you can use one of them, hopefully the one that hasn't used its auto, because remember the auto is level 1, so it only trigger on 1 even if you got 2 out, to then use this effect, bring out one of the 8 drops, and then using the other one to put in your Z energy to use the 8-drop from the Z energy, play itself to put a lot of pressure on, and then potentially using overarms stuff like that. So turn 1 and 2 is like a strict way how to get set up ready. Turn 3 is depending what you have, and then turn 4 is depending how much pressure you can put on. And that is it. So if you want to check out the gameplay, feel free to check out the free games I've got up on my channel. from earlier this week, from my round when I use this in the Hermit style, like League Locals. To check out some gameplay. All 3 games are up there. Interesting games to watch, fun games to watch. So if you're looking to play this deck, see it in action, go ahead and check it out. And if you do, I hope you like it. But that is it from me. Hopefully you liked the deck profile and it was in depth for you. If you have any questions, drop them down below. But outside that is me done for this now. So feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.